Have you ever received something that felt more like a burden than a gift? Imagine this. It's your birthday, and a close friend gives you an extravagant gift, something way beyond their means. At first, you're touched by the gesture, but soon you realize there's a catch. Every time you meet, they remind you of their generosity, making subtle requests for favors in return. What seemed like a kind gesture now feels like a heavy obligation. This scenario isn't just hypothetical. It happens more often than you think. In this video, we'll explore the 5 things you should never receive from anyone and why these seemingly harmless offerings can turn into traps. Stick around because understanding these pitfalls can save you from future stress and manipulation. By the end of this video, you'll know how to protect yourself from hidden agendas and maintain healthier relationships. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. To kick things off, let's dive into gifts with hidden intentions. While receiving a gift can be a wonderful experience, sometimes the giver has ulterior motives. Have you ever thought about why some gifts make you feel uneasy? It's because these gifts often come with strings attached. The giver might expect something in return, creating a sense of obligation. Take, for instance, the story of Maria, who received a lavish gift from a coworker. It seemed like a generous gesture, but soon, the coworker began asking for favors, reminding Maria of the expensive gift they had given. This manipulation through gifting created a toxic dynamic. According to a study by the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, 40% of respondents reported feeling indebted after receiving a significant gift, which strained their relationships. It's crucial to recognize when a gift is more about control than kindness. Next up is unwanted advice. Everyone has received unsolicited advice at some point. While it may come from a place of good intentions, it can often feel intrusive and unhelpful. Unsolicited advice can undermine your confidence and create unnecessary stress. Consider John, who was constantly bombarded with advice from his family about his career choices. Despite having a clear plan, the ongoing advice made him doubt his decisions, leading to anxiety and second-guessing. Studies from the American Psychological Association show that unsolicited advice can increase stress levels and negatively impact mental health. Moving on, we have conditional help. This is when someone offers assistance, but only if certain conditions are met. This type of help can create a power imbalance and lead to feelings of dependency and resentment. Think of Sarah, who needed financial help for her small business. A friend offered to lend her the money, but with strict conditions that gave them control over her business decisions. This conditional help left Sarah feeling trapped and powerless. A case study from the Harvard Business Review highlights how conditional help can damage professional relationships and hinder personal growth. It's important to be cautious of help that comes with too many strings attached. Now, let's talk about emotional baggage. Accepting someone's emotional baggage can weigh you down and affect your mental health. It's crucial to set boundaries to protect yourself from becoming overwhelmed by someone else's issues. Take the example of Emily, who always listened to her friends' problems without setting boundaries. Over time, she found herself feeling drained and anxious, unable to focus on her well-being. Experts from the Mayo Clinic emphasize the importance of setting healthy boundaries to maintain your mental health and relationships. Lastly, let's discuss debt and financial burdens. Accepting financial help can sometimes lead to significant stress and strain on relationships. It's important to fully understand the terms and potential consequences before accepting such help. Consider the story of Mark, who borrowed money from a friend to pay off some debts. The friend started demanding repayment sooner than agreed upon, leading to tension and conflict. According to data from the National Financial Capability Study, personal loans between friends and family often lead to strained relationships and financial stress. To make a long story short, accepting gifts from someone who may have ulterior motives can lead to complicated situations. These gifts can range from expensive items to simple tokens of appreciation, but the intent behind them can carry significant weight. Consider the instance of corporate gifts. Companies often provide gifts to clients or partners with the expectation of future business favors. For example, in 2018, a study by the University of Notre Dame found that 38% of corporate gifts came with an expectation of reciprocal actions. This dynamic can apply on a personal level as well, creating a sense of obligation or indebtedness that can be uncomfortable or even unethical. Now, let's talk about personal experiences. Imagine you've received an extravagant gift from an acquaintance. Initially, it feels flattering, but soon, subtle hints about favors start to emerge. This situation can quickly become manipulative. It's essential to recognize when a gift is not just a gift but a strategic move. Ask yourself, why did they give me this? What do they want in return? This line of questioning helps identify potential hidden agendas. When it comes to food, the stakes can be high, especially with the prevalence of food allergies and intolerances. To illustrate, according to Food Allergy Research and Education, FAIR, approximately 32 million Americans have food allergies. Receiving homemade food items from others, while a kind gesture, can pose a significant risk if the giver is unaware of your dietary restrictions. Take, for example, a seemingly innocent plate of cookies brought by a neighbor. If those cookies contain nuts and you have a nut allergy, the consequences could be severe. It's not just about allergies. Cross-contamination and unknown ingredients can lead to unexpected health issues. Always exercise caution and communicate your dietary needs clearly to avoid these risks. We've all been there. Someone offers unsolicited advice about your personal life, career, or relationships. While some advice may come from a good place, not all of it is beneficial or relevant to your situation. Unwanted advice can often be more about the advisor's need to feel important or involved rather than genuinely helping you. For instance, during a stressful time at work, a colleague might insist you follow a specific productivity method that worked for them. However, this advice may not suit your workflow or preferences, leading to frustration rather than improvement. According to a 2017 study published in the Journal of Positive Psychology, receiving unsolicited advice can increase stress and reduce self-efficacy. To manage this, politely but firmly setting boundaries can help. Thank the person for their input, but make it clear that you prefer to handle the situation in your own way. Receiving financial help can be a double-edged sword. While it might provide temporary relief, it can also lead to long-term complications, especially if the lender expects repayment with interest or other forms of compensation. According to the Federal Reserve, about 60% of Americans have borrowed money from friends or family, and these transactions often come with emotional and financial baggage. Imagine borrowing money from a family member to cover an unexpected expense. While it may seem like an easy solution, the repayment terms and expectations can strain your relationship. The borrower might feel obligated to prioritize repayment over other financial responsibilities, leading to stress and resentment. Moreover, if you are unable to repay on time, it could permanently damage your relationship. In today's world, personal space is more important than ever. With the rise of social media and digital interactions, physical and emotional boundaries are often blurred. To make a long story short, allowing someone to invade your personal space can lead to discomfort and anxiety. Think about a colleague who constantly interrupts your work by leaning over your desk or a friend who frequently drops by unannounced. These actions, while seemingly harmless, can disrupt your focus and invade your bubble. According to a study by the American Psychological Association, maintaining personal space is crucial for mental well-being and productivity. Setting clear boundaries and communicating them effectively can help keep your peace and privacy. Receiving excessive praise can put undue pressure on you to meet high expectations continually. While it feels good to be acknowledged, over-the-top compliments can create an unrealistic image that you feel compelled to live up to. For instance, if a colleague consistently praises your work as always perfect, you might feel immense pressure never to make mistakes, leading to stress and burnout. A 2015 study published in the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology found that while positive feedback can boost self-esteem, exaggerated praise can have the opposite effect, particularly for those with low self-confidence. To navigate this, it's essential to accept compliments graciously but also manage your expectations and remind yourself that it's okay to make mistakes and have room for improvement. Public recognition, such as awards or shout-outs in meetings, can be a double-edged sword. While it boosts morale and acknowledges hard work, it can also lead to feelings of discomfort or unwanted attention. According to a 2019 survey by Gallup, 40% of employees feel embarrassed by public recognition. Consider a scenario where you're publicly praised for a project in front of your entire team. While it's a moment of pride, it might also put you under the spotlight, raising expectations for your future performance. This can lead to performance anxiety and a constant fear of not living up to the new standards set by your previous success. It's crucial to balance acknowledgement with personal comfort levels. If public praise makes you uneasy, consider discussing alternative recognition methods with your manager, such as private acknowledgments or written commendations. Relationship advice, especially unsolicited, can often do more harm than good. While friends and family mean well, their advice might not align with your feelings or the nuances of your relationship. According to a 2020 study in the Journal of Family Psychology, well-meaning advice can sometimes escalate conflicts rather than resolve them. Imagine a friend advising you to handle a disagreement with your partner in a specific way. Their perspective is based on their experiences and might not suit your relationship dynamics. Following such advice could lead to misunderstandings or worsen the situation. It's essential to trust your instincts and communicate openly with your partner rather than relying heavily on external advice. If needed, seeking professional counseling can provide more tailored and objective guidance. Offers of help with personal projects, such as home renovations or creative endeavors, can sometimes lead to conflicts over control and vision. While assistance is appreciated, differing opinions on how things should be done can create tension. A 2018 survey by HomeAdvisor found that 30% of people who accepted help with home projects ended up dissatisfied with the results due to conflicting ideas. For instance, you might invite a friend to help with a home decorating project, only to find their style clashes with your vision. Their well-intentioned suggestions might feel more like impositions, leading to frustration on both sides. To avoid such conflicts, it's important to communicate your vision clearly and set boundaries on what aspects you need help with versus what you prefer to handle yourself. If necessary, politely decline offers of help that could compromise your project's outcome. Receiving invitations to social events can create a sense of obligation, especially if the events clash with your schedule or preferences. According to a 2017 study by the American Sociological Association, 25% of people attend social events out of a sense of obligation rather than genuine interest. Consider a scenario where a colleague invites you to a weekend gathering, but you had planned to spend that time relaxing or working on a personal project. Feeling obliged to attend can lead to stress and resentment, particularly if such invitations are frequent. It's important to prioritize your well-being and manage your time effectively. Politely declining invitations and explaining your reasons can help maintain your boundaries without offending others. Remember, it's okay to prioritize your needs and decline social obligations that do not align with your preferences or schedule. Unexpected visits, whether from friends, family, or neighbors, can disrupt your time and routines. While spontaneous visits can sometimes be pleasant surprises, they can also feel intrusive and inconvenient. A 2016 study by the Pew Research Center found that 65% of people prefer to schedule visits in advance to avoid disruptions. Imagine working from home or enjoying a quiet evening when a neighbor drops by unannounced. While their intention might be friendly, the interruption can break your concentration or disrupt your relaxation time. To manage this, it's essential to set clear boundaries. Let friends and family know your preferred visiting hours and the importance of scheduling visits in advance. This approach respects both your time and your intentions, creating a balanced dynamic that works for everyone involved. In today's digital age, the act of sharing personal information online can have unintended consequences. Whether it's sharing photos, locations, or personal updates, oversharing can lead to privacy breaches and potential security risks. According to a 2021 survey by Norton, 79% of people are concerned about their privacy on social media. Consider a scenario where a friend tags you in a post or shares a photo without your consent. While their intention might be harmless, this action can expose you to unwanted attention or compromise your privacy. It's important to communicate your boundaries regarding online sharing. Discuss with friends and family about seeking your permission before tagging or posting about you online. This proactive approach helps protect your privacy and maintains trust in your relationships. Frequent check-ins from friends, family, or colleagues, although well-meaning, can sometimes amplify anxiety rather than alleviate it. Constant messages or calls to check on your well-being or progress can create a sense of pressure and distraction. A 2019 study by the Anxiety and Depression Association of America found that 45% of people feel overwhelmed by frequent check-ins. Imagine working on a deadline when a friend repeatedly texts you to check how you're doing. While their concern is appreciated, the interruptions can increase your stress levels and hinder your productivity. Setting boundaries on communication is crucial. Politely explain your need for focused time and establish specific times for check-ins that work for both parties. This approach ensures you maintain supportive relationships without compromising your mental well-being or productivity. New parents often receive a flood of advice, usually unsolicited, from family, friends, and even strangers. While some tips can be helpful, excessive or conflicting advice can lead to confusion and self-doubt. According to a 2020 study in the Journal of Child and Family Studies, 60% of new parents feel overwhelmed by unsolicited parenting advice. Consider a scenario where everyone around you has different opinions on how to feed, dress, or discipline your child. Navigating this sea of advice can be daunting and frustrating. It's essential to trust your instincts and consult reliable sources, such as pediatricians or trusted parenting books. Politely acknowledging advice, but making it clear that you're following your parenting plan can help maintain your confidence and reduce stress. Career suggestions from others, though often well-meaning, can sometimes pressure you into pursuing paths that don't align with your true interests or goals. According to a 2018 survey by LinkedIn, 40% of professionals feel pressured by family and friends to follow specific career paths. Imagine your family pushing you to pursue a career in medicine or law, believing it to be the best choice for you. While they intend to secure your future, their suggestions might not align with your passions or strengths. It's important to critically evaluate career advice and make decisions based on your aspirations and abilities. Having open discussions about your career goals and explaining your choices can help manage expectations and reduce pressure. In conclusion, while gifts and well-intentioned gestures can enrich our lives, it's crucial to recognize when they come with strings attached or lead to unintended consequences. Balancing acceptance with the ability to set clear boundaries is key to maintaining healthy relationships and personal well-being. By being aware of the potential pitfalls and communicating your needs effectively, you can navigate these situations with confidence and grace. Remember, it's okay to say no and prioritize your own needs and comfort.